Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Levin. Glad to be here finally. I was a little late getting on this morning as well. This is meditation on Sunday mornings, Eastern Time, 10 a.m., with Sun and Moon Yoga Studio on our YouTube channel. So I've been using themes from the yogic literature for inspiration for my teaching and for my own life. So I usually go with one a week. And this last week in the background has been the idea that the contentment that we often seek is that we already have it, it's already available all the time. So how can that be? How can that be? It may not be so. And so one of the ways, and it may be different for you. So as I chat for a few moments before we take our 12 minutes of stillness and silence, sitting, um, you can reflect how what I might be saying is true for you or a different way or a whole other topic, whatever it is that you need today, what your life is calling you to, what challenges you feel, and where you gather strengths. So those are some big themes that are always present, and we find what we need in our particular way. Also, it occurred to me this morning is you can take these few minutes that I'm chatting to stretch, to do some movement that helps prepare you for the stillness of sitting. Mhm. So at times, one of the things again that our meditation practice can help us with is to recognize when we have that resource of coming to stillness, to recognize when we are caught in something, in a rut that we've seen it again and again, or we wake up every day with the same issue, or might be recurring on a lesser frequency. The ruts, the could also be something that gives us a stability. It's something familiar. It's something that our nervous system knows well. And so in a sense, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can have the feeling of stuckness. And it can have that feeling, especially as during these COVID times where a lot of us may be feeling that every day is the same, um, along with other ways that we're stuck. So actually, the rut, maybe a cousin or one aspect of the rut is very, very important. Is that sense of stability, and also what we cultivate in our sitting practice is a sense of support. And a lot of times, part of what we do is coming to recognize the external support. I have the support of this cushion underneath my pelvis. I have the support of a comfortable space, a quiet space where I'm not bothered. Maybe the snoring dog will chime in. Um, I have this, and then I have the support of my body. I have the support of my breath. I also, and along those lines of realizing contentment that's always there, support that's always there is an internalization of that. How we are present for ourselves, how we have many qualities that are uh, support ourselves. So I've taken this more to a instead of well, I'm coming to the contentment part. um, so the support that we can know that it's there, especially when we get caught up in something, whether it's a flare of anger or a despair of oh, same old, something that recurs in a relationship or in our relationship to perhaps our work, all examples. And when we have enough support that we can here's the important part, that we can stop, that we can open our eyes, open our hearts a little more, that we can see what boundary feels like it's containing us, sort of the edges, the riverbanks of the rut. Um, that's the beginning of being able to open to something new, to open to stepping out, to open to maybe, and we're not ready yet to completely step out of our rut, but maybe we see just a little bit more that there's something else available for us, some another way. And in a sense, there's a combination of knowing, really having internalized that feeling of stability, of support, of strength, um, and a little bit of letting go, of just letting go. That can be a hard one. In some situations, it might be easy, but I'm just on the very mundane level of clutter. I'm dealing with some resistance to letting go. So we have these capacities, and when we can feel these resources within us, I think that contentment, is it connected? It feels like it is to me, but I'm not sure that the link is there, obviously. That there's this aliveness in us. So if nothing is static, things are always fresh, even though may feel like the rut can sometimes be paralyzing us or hindering. But the life force is ever new and it's available for us. So let's sit together for 12 minutes and maybe those points are helpful for you. And if not, I'll give a few more pointers as we sit. And I'll start with the bell and a bow to open our formal sitting. And so getting the seat just right is important to be able to maintain stillness. You might be sitting in a chair, a cushion on the floor with your back against something. So we can just take some time to tap into this vital now present moment sensing of the truth of support. We sense it through the very cells of our body, the nervous system, the skin, the signals that are traveling chemically and electrically through our bodies. So that the first of the three steps that I return to over and over again in our practice, ground. They are ground, sound, and breath, and I'll go through each of them. Those are very helpful pointers, and they don't have to be in that order, but ground is usually the best one for me. You might be coming to breath first. That might be the one. So, ground for me doesn't only include the solidness that confirmed underneath me, but it's the bones of my own body, it's the structures of my own body, the positioning of my legs and pelvis and spine, shoulders, the positioning of my eyes and my hands, and that I'm lightly monitoring all of this while I sit. It's very helpful when I say lightly monitoring to start to be aware that attention can have a focused, narrowing aspect, where, for example, I'm noticing my hands now, but simultaneously, while my attention feels my fingers resting in the other fingers, my thumbs lightly touching, I'm also aware of the broad, panoramic, infinite, boundless aspect of my attention as it as it emerges into awareness or comes from awareness. And you might notice your breath. Each of these three pointers that I'll mention can be an anchor when you feel like you're struggling to keep your attention present, and I highly recommend a kindness towards yourself, a forgiveness in advance of any deficiency as a meditator, which after all is just an idea. Breathing, perhaps you'll notice that you might be able to relax a little bit more, even while staying upright and gently alert. And we can open to sound. You might be hearing the sounds of my dog shifting his sleeping position. The morning doves cooing. I find it in my ear. Sound connecting the outer and the inner and the outer. And we might notice how our perception can be almost as if from outside ourself, but including the inside. And with a sense of support, the sense of tenderheartedness, perhaps with a clarity born of the stillness, there might be a light feeling of just letting go of the idea of the meditator, letting go of any grasp or control, and opening to possibility. Bringing palms together in front of the heart, Bowing head to heart and hands, and sense the aliveness of the gesture in you and the aliveness of the benefit of this practice. And I so appreciate you joining me to create, to claim the freedom, both the freedom and the responsibility that we can start to feel that is within us, always available. Somehow related to that contentment theme. Thank you. And again, you're with Sun and Moon Yoga Studio here. Thank you for being